Well, hi all, and welcome to the Venus Machinations blog. First video blog, so forgive me for not having practiced this, it's all ad-lib. And today it's pesto time. We're making pesto, the basil crop's in, it's looking good, got a heap of it, and we're probably going to end up making about 3 kilos of pesto. I'm just going to run you through how I make pesto, and you can make as much or as little as you like. We're going to use a heap of different ingredients here. So we've got the basil all washed and ready to rock and roll. We've got pine nuts in here, and if I just zoom in a little bit, you'll see there's a plate here, and half of them are toasted and half of them are not. So I like to toast my pine nuts, and purists say you don't, but I reckon that adds a bit of flavour. And it's pretty good. Now I've also got some cheese. That's a little bit of grana padano, and I also use a bit of pecorino because I like the saltiness of that. And actually we've also got a heap of garlic. So you'll need a heap of olive oil as well. And you'll also need a couple of bits of kit. You'll need a mortar and pestle, which the first thing we do with is get rid of it because it's too hard. What you need is one of these, a kick-ass food processor, because when you're making 3 kilos of pesto, using a mortar and pestle will just kill you. So let's kick it off. My basic recipe for this is to, in this case, I'll do it in a 4 cup of basil lot. We'll grab 4 cups of basil and we'll really pack it into the container. Dropped a bit, oops. And you want to pack it in nice and firm so that you're getting heaps of basil into your pesto. I've already worked out how much basil I've got here, and I've got about 15 cups in total, so there's about 4. We'll whack that into the food processor and just sort of spread them around a little bit. A couple more seconds. So that's in. We need to, for each cup, add a couple of cloves of garlic, so 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. I've already weighed out my pine nuts, and I'm going to just take the toasted ones off this one, whack them in a big bowl of them, and get rid of these untoasted ones. So I need about 1/4 of these nuts, because it's about 1/4 of my total amount of basil. So it's around about 30 grams per cup of basil. So we'll just whack a few in there. That's about right. I'm going to mix all this up in a big bowl at the end of the day to sort of amalgamate it, so it doesn't matter if I'm not sort of getting the amounts right. And next thing, a little bit of oil, and we'll use a 1/2 cup for every cup of basil leaves. So we need around about 2 cups of oil to go into this. We'll just tip that upside down and make it flow a bit better. There's 1 cup, and a little more, almost there, and there's 2 cups. So I'll whack that in to our blitzer. Beautiful. That's all in, that's a good sized batch. Whack on the lid. And if I can find the on button, so that's made a pretty good batch of pesto ready to go. It just needs the cheeses mixed into that, but we do that manually outside the blender. I'm going to continue on and make the rest of this up, and then perhaps we'll come back and just stir through the parmesan with you and tell you about some of the recipes that I like to make with this deluxe pesto. See you soon. Well, welcome back. We've now done the blending of the pesto. We've got a massive bowl of it here. I think we're going to end up with about 3 kilos, but just remember you can do this in small batches. so you can just make enough for you for the night. Last thing I've got to do is mix in some cheese. I like to use a bit of a mix between some Grana Padano and some Pecorino. You can use Reggiano, Parmigiano, but it's a little bit more expensive, and it really doesn't make that much difference going into the pesto. The Grana's, you know, very good quality at any rate. We use about 60 grams for each cup of basil. So that means I'm using almost a kilo in here. I've already got my cheese, and I went to the Mediterranean wholesaler on Sydney Road and got them to pre-grate it for me, so I didn't have to grate it. They've got a great machine and it goes through in 2 seconds. So all I've got to do now is mix that through. So it's just, look, a simple matter of really getting your cheese and sprinkling it around. Mixing it in. So I am going to have to mix in somewhere around about a kilo, so there's a fair bit to go in. I'm going to use all of this bag. I prefer to use probably 2/3 Grana and 1/3 Pecorino, so there's about 600 grams in here, so we'll whack that in, and if we can get it out of the bag, one of those. Almost there. Looks like a lot of cheese. It's just because it's grated. It sort of seems to take up a lot of volume. There's that in there. Over that way. So we just mix that in. So what I tend to do is a bit of a that's a victory for me. Is then after I mix this in, just store it in Ziploc bags in portions in the freezer, because that allows it to keep really well, and you can use it throughout the year. There's no one getting through 3 kilos of this in one night. Great recipes to use it for. Obviously the classic, use it for a spaghetti with pesto. Cook some spaghetti up and just measure the pesto into taste. After you've done that, make sure you keep a little bit of the pasta water to help spread that out a little bit. That'll be beautiful. The other things you can do, add it to soups. Great in a minestrone and in any real vegetable soup. Great on mushrooms. Great on lamb chops. Just great by itself. Fantastic kind of stuff overall. So look, I hope you enjoyed Pesto, 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 Oi by Venus Machinations. Next time I think we're probably going to be doing a bit of a video post on how to open and decanter really old bottles of wine where the cork's crumbling and there's a whole heap of crud in the bottle of wine. So join us for that one next time around. Enjoy making your pesto. Cheers. Bye.